Good evening. Good evening, everyone. We're gathered here tonight to celebrate a very important and special milestone. 70 years of the Lubavitcher Rebbe's leadership and vision for the world. And throughout the evening tonight, you've seen the tremendous impact that Chabad has on a vast global scale. And by the way, I could say that my dear wife and I are products of this. I'm an English kid married to an Australian girl, and we somehow managed to land here in the Valley in California to serve as emissaries of the Rebbe. You've heard about the macro picture of Chabad tonight, but I would like to take a few moments with you to zoom in, a word that we've become quite accustomed to recently, and talk about the micro, and to bring it home to us here in the Valley. Many of you are aware of the various programs, the activities, the resources that Chabad offers to all groups, to all ages and denominations, whether it be a shul, a school, our summer and winter camps, holiday programs, adult education, teens programs, toddler groups, preparing bar and bat mitzvahs, preparing grooms and brides. Chabad's aim is to create and to grow Jewish vibrancy and vitality, and to provide everyone with a sense of belonging and community. But a lot of people are only witness to what happens in shul on Shabbat, on Saturday, or on the holidays. But in actuality, there is a lot more that goes on behind the scenes. And I would like to briefly share with you a few personal experiences that are still fresh in my mind. It was on March 18th, 2021, just a few very short months ago, where a 102-year-old Jewish man from Encino was fatally stabbed while gardening outside of his home. He is actually related to one of the community members at Chabad, and after the police were notified, we were the next point of call to help facilitate the necessary arrangements following this unfathomable, tragic event, to help a proper burial, proper Jewish burial, and to assist the family with the Shiva process. And the daughter of this gentleman told me that she knew that she could rely on Chabad to bring a modicum of solace and comfort to her bereaved family during this incomprehensibly painful time in their lives. And just a few weeks ago, as I was preparing for Shabbat, I received a call from a young woman whose wedding I had officiated just a few years earlier. It was 25 minutes before candle lighting. And as I picked up the phone, the woman on the other line could hardly get the words out of her mouth. And through a flood of tears, she told me that her 61-year-old father had suddenly passed away. The family were in such a state of shock, they didn't know what to do. The Chevra Kadisha, the Jewish Burial Society, were contacted, and I immediately drove over to Tarzana Hospital where the father lay. And I spent what was the most emotional Friday night of my life. The wife of this gentleman, the daughter and the son, exclaimed, "Rabbi Ari, we don't know what to do now. It's Friday night. We shouldn't be here in the hospital. We're supposed to have Shabbat dinner with our father like we have every single week. How could this be?" And for this, I want to turn to my dear wife for a moment, because in the rush to the hospital, my wife packed some kiddush and challah in a bag. And right then and there, together, with the family, we said, let's have one final Friday night Shabbat in your father's physical presence. We then prepared the Kiddush and we cried, singing together the Shalom Aleichem melody amidst the immense pain. And as their father lay motionless, his wife and children knew that his beautiful soul, which was ever present in that room, was singing along with them. The Rebbe's message of Ahavat Yisrael, to love your fellow Jew, rings loud and clear, and it's embedded within our hearts and our minds, to be there for our fellows during all seasons of life, during times of suffering as well as during times of great joy. And of course, there are also many joyous and uplifting moments along the journey of shlichus. Like when you meet someone traveling through the journey of finding meaning in life, and then you witness them being able to find a place and to find an environment that they call home, a community where they feel a strong sense of belonging and friendship, and where they can grow spiritually.
When I look around at the people and community attending tonight's gala banquet, I think it's safe to say that every person here, in one form or another, has been changed for the better in profound ways by the vision and impact of the Rebbe and, in turn, Chabad of the Valley. Some of you here tonight are lay leaders from the early days, founders, longtime shul goers. Some of you were born into the Jewish oasis that Chabad of the Valley has built over the years. And some of you have walked into our doors more recently and are just beginning to embark on a proudly Jewish journey together with us. They say the job of shluchim is to inspire others. Yet, ironically, we find that our deepest inspiration comes from you. Your commitment to connecting to Judaism and your passion for expanding the Rebbe's vision. Your generosity in partnering with us, whether it's with your resources or your time and energy, ensuring that Jewish life around us thrives. You're our inspiration. Our dear friend, Remington Franklin, is one of those people. Remy walked into our lives just a few months ago when my brother-in-law Shmaya Krinsky brought Remy to our home for the Pesach Seder. I knew we had a trailblazer on our hands when, after a long night of matzah and wine, we reached Afikoman time, and I asked Remy if he'd consider helping us to renovate Chabad of the Valley's women's mikveh in trade for the Afikoman. To my shock, Remy was fully on board. If you get to know Remy, you learn right away that he's a man of action, and spearheading the mikveh renovation, along with our dear friends and supporters, Alex and Elena Rader, is just many of the visions that he's determined to make a reality. I'll let Remy share his story with you in how a Hollywood agent and marketing CEO reconnected with his roots, but I'll tell you this. Remy is a real-life testament to the Rebbe's legacy continuously growing and expanding. Remy only just recently began to embrace his Jewishness, yet this guy is on fire, and spreading the light is now at the core of his life's mission. The late Rabbi Lord Jonathan Sachs profoundly said that the genius of the Rebbe is that he didn't just inspire followers, he cultivated leaders. Remy leads from the front, and was so honored to partner with him in building and expanding Jewish life in the Valley and beyond.
Guys, you may have seen him in the LA Times or on CBS News as the founder of the Shabbat Angels. And I want to welcome some of the members of the Shabbat Angels here tonight. Let's give them a rousing round of applause. The Shabbat Angels are a group of strong and able volunteers organized by Remy to keep the community protected and safe in times where, unfortunately, we've felt a real rise in anti-Semitism so close to home. Remy is all about Jewish pride, and he's all about making sure that nothing gets in the way of Jews freely expressing that. Ladies and gentlemen, Instagram has labeled him Batmensch. But here at Chabad, we like to call him Naftali Halevi Franklin. Give him a rousing round of applause.